to north to be south to be north. Where I'm from, Virginia, of course. To south to be north to be south. What it's like. Hey yo, it is what it is. Yeah, hey yo, it is what it is. It couldn't be nothing else. We found place off.
Oh, ain't nothing, man. I'm cracking with you.
Where are you living at these days?
I'm in Woodbridge, man. Woodbridge, Virginia, man. Not that far from Reston.
No, not too far. I remember the only thing that I used to do in Woodbridge back in the day is we used to go there. There was a wing spot called Brittany's.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's where I'm going tonight, man.
What?
Yeah, man.
I can't believe that place is still there. That's awesome. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, that place bigger. Their food is better than ever. Their drinks are cheap. And all the staff love me and my lady.
That's a good spot. Well, you know if a restaurant's been around, like they're doing something right.
Yeah, definitely.
You remember a dude named Lincoln Doyle?
Ah.
He played for the basketball team. He was kind of like, a backup on our basketball team. But he was like a grade ahead of us. He was probably, 6'5", maybe 6'6", lanky dude.
Oh yeah?
I once saw him eat like 100 wings.
Really? Damn.
No shit, because they used to have 10-cent wing night on Tuesday night.
Oh really? Oh okay, yeah, I never knew about it. It's crazy.
So he'd be like loading up for the week.
Wow. I don't know where you said this guy was tall and lanky?
Yeah.
Really?
He was like 6'6", so he had some room to put it away. I once saw you remember that dude Tim Waite?
Yeah, I do.
Not great. I remember McDonald's also used to have I think it was on Wednesdays, but it might have been Tuesdays too, when they would do like 19-cent burgers and like 29-cent cheeseburgers.
Nah, I never caught deals like that, brother. You caught the prolific deals.
This is like 94. This is like taking it back. And I remember we were on our way to a concert, and dude ate 25 like McDonald's hamburgers and cheeseburgers.
Damn. No, see, y'all was doing it big back. Y'all was doing the big deals, man, and the burgers and the wings. I didn't do it. I've never done it, matter of fact. and now the breweries are too old to handle it.
Yeah, we didn't have any money in high school, so if there was like a deal like that, we would drive like far and wide, for something like that.
I can dig it. Definitely. Definitely.
So, while we were doing that kind of stuff, what were you up to in high school?
Man, you know what I was up to in high school, man. I was writing raps and running around with backpacks full of crabgrass, bro. trying to get somebody to go to the liquor store for us or the Rite Aid in Hunters Woods and get us some 40s and things we weren't supposed to have,
Yeah, it's funny that the crabgrass was easier to get.
Yeah, it was. It was abundant, wasn't it?
Yeah, except for when it wasn't. And definitely, it was hard to get anything that wasn't just dirt. Like compared to what these kids are doing out here nowadays.
Oh man.
What we were smoking might as well have been crabgrass.
Pretty much. Shit. The shit they smoking now, man. You can't even go nowhere after you smoking, man. Everybody know you smoking.
Yeah, and they got all this stuff. They got dab, wax, don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that in Virginia, but
no, it's not legal here yet. Not yet, but it's coming. It's coming because it's legal in D.C. and it's decriminalized in Maryland. And so, with that being the case, you know what I mean, there's a lot more leeway. You know what I mean? Just as long as you don't have a truckload, there's a lot more leeway. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, Virginia is Virginia until Virginia changes the law. You dig?
Yep. Well, Virginia seems to be coming along somewhat.
Indeed. Yes, Virginia's coming along. Not as fast as I.
There's still politicians who are running for office and watching Sasquatch porn or whatever. That's what we hear from out here. So I don't even know, you know, and all that shit in Charlottesville. So still a mecca for some crazy.
Indeed.
Fucking Virginia. Virginia is bipolar as a motherfucker.
Tell me about it. Shit, I tell you one thing that don't change though. They're about that money. So however they can get it from you, or if you got it to give, you're okay. If you don't, you're fucked. Pretty much. That hasn't changed.
So you said you were writing rap. When did that start for you? What was the beginning? Like, what was the first thing that you listened to, or whatever that pushed you into wanting to write and wanting to rap?
I would venture to say it actually started long before Virginia, because you know, if you know me, you know that I'm from Boston. I'm from Roxbury. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. So I started doing my thing at about 9 years old. And it started with just, you know, listening to LL Cool J songs on the bus, you know, reciting his raps, and then, you know, seeing the reaction from people when you knew their favorite rappers versus verbatim, you know, you would get a certain reaction from people that there was something akin to, you know, stardom. You know what I mean? They would look at you all starry-eyed like, wow, you know the whole song? Yo, you're dope. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, well, look at what I can do. You know what I mean? You know, Baby B was born, you know, I think that was my first rap name, Baby B, the messenger of funk. And that's what I was doing at 9 years old. So fast forward a few years, I moved to Virginia, and, you know, that desire for, you know, if you want to call it attention or fame or what have you, it never left me, you know. So it wasn't long before I met someone that was like-minded, and you know, we shared that same passion for rapping, and you know, it took off from there really.
Where did you move when you first moved to Reston?
Southgate Apartments. Southgate Apartments.
And what was that like? Who were like the crew of kids that hung out around Southgate?
I didn't really hang with anybody for that first, say, 3 months until school started, because I moved here in, say, the end of the summer. And then when school started, that's when I started to make some inroads as far as friends. I think Dave Lou and Kevin Boulware was the first two guys I met. And then came Kenny Hill and Corey Rogers. And then I met TJ. Yeah, I met TJ. I actually met TJ because he stole my girlfriend. Yes. Motherfucker stole my girlfriend, man. I was going out with Rachel Cohen, and I was all about her, you know what I'm saying? She was my first white girl ever, you know what I mean? And, I came to Virginia, and it was like, oh, my God, I'm allowed to date white girls, and they're allowed to like me back, and we can get seen together and not get beat up, blah, blah, blah. So I went all in, So Rachel Cohen was my first little girlfriend out here, and, we went together in, 7th grade, and, we grew apart. Then next thing I know, she's walking down the hall with this kid with the big lips and big hair. And it was TJ, TJ Fobbs. And lo and behold, we actually lived pretty close to each other. I lived in Southgate Apartments, and he lived in Winchester Apartments, which were adjacent to each other. If you remember Reston, that Coast Neck Road, Hunters Woods area. So we rode. He got on my bus by mistake. He got on my school bus by mistake, and somehow we got to talking. He came back to my house. He picked up one of my raps on the bed and was like, "Yo, you rap?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yo, this is dope, man. Like, we should do something." And that the rest is history, man. We did a lot of things together as far as rap goes.
Well, so how did it go from you guys just like writing the rap to actually, doing something?
Wow. That was a lot of blunt. That was many, many blunts ago, brother. Let me see. So, to repeat the question, how long, what did it go from actually just writing raps to actually performing and making records and all of that good stuff? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, so you guys have some written, and you're probably, maybe spit on top of an instrumental or something like that, but how do you go from there to, finding a DJ, actually recording some songs, performing some songs?
Okay, well, it came together really organically. His father had a vast record collection. His father was a Chicago cat, real slick player. He always kept records, He kept some of the most classic records, and it's ironic that those records would be the records that we would hear sampled to a lot of the popular hip-hop music, that we grew to love in the 90s, And so we would be in his room playing with records, and you know how the break beats go. You know what I mean? We would find the break. We would find the break in the beat. You know what I mean? Just like most hip hop cats you can think of. You know what I mean? We would find the break in the beat, and we would groove to it and start rapping. You know what I mean? We would start trying out the raps that we had already written, and they kind of came together like that. And it didn't take long before we realized, oh, we're kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? We do this shit. You know what I mean? So that's really where that particular that organized part of it started. You know what I mean? Now, for my own part, I didn't really commit a lot of my rhymes to paper. You know, what I would do is I would hear a beat that I love, and I would play a beat over and over and over and over again, and I would just pace the floor. And by the time I finished pacing the floor, I got something to blow your mind with. You know what I mean? I committed to paper later. So TJ would do something similar. And you know, we started putting them together. You know, it didn't take long before I met a guy by the name of Justice Johnson through my older cousin. My older cousin and Justice Johnson's little brother, they had a group. And my older cousin Ronaldo, I don't know if you know Ronaldo Pettis.
Sure.
Ronaldo, yeah, you remember Ronaldo?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Ronaldo was one of their dancers. Ronaldo and Chris Simmons, those two were the dancers. And, you know, like I said, this is early 90s. So, you know, this was back when having dancers with your rap group was cool. You know what I mean? I.e., you know, Big Daddy Kane, Scoop and Scrap, Red Level, what's that guy's name? Oh, man, there was so many people, man. Kwame, he had dancers.
You know, we've been together for some time, and I've been experiencing some kind of feelings that's changed and rearranged for the better. And I hope that you've been feeling the same way, and pray that you ain't running game. Hey, just what do you have to say?
As I'm sitting here thinking about you, suddenly I feel ashamed.
And you do?
The feelings deep inside me suddenly begin to change. When I see your face and hear your voice, I seem to lose despair. I get relaxed and overjoyed whenever you are near. You can make me do
The list goes on and on. But anyway, so through my cousin and his group, I met Justice Johnson. And he had a studio and all of that good stuff. And so when he heard about us, you know, and how young we were, he was like, well, shit, bring them through. And I pretty much learned all the fundamentals of recording and studio etiquette and all of that. I learned all of that through Justice Johnson. And we all learned that through Justice Johnson.
Where was his studio, and like, had he recorded anybody in the area? Like, any names? Did he have it, like, his name, any credit on any singles or anything? He has a lot of credits in the industry to date, and he is actually still a producer, and so is TJ actually. TJ doesn't rap anymore. TJ is actually a producer, and he owns a studio. In Baltimore, right?
Yeah, he moved his studio to D.C. recently, though, as far as I know. But Justice Johnson has a lot of credits.
What's on y'all niggas' minds? Fucking with me. I know somebody has told you about fucking with D. Stuck in the tree is what you will be, like a cat. And I'm the dog at the bottom looking up. Now what's that? Your worst nightmare, cause I take it right there. You got niggas coming, where they at? Right where? I'll make them like air, floating away. Wouldn't tell me what he was thinking, so I opened the way. Left him broken away, you know he hurt before he died. And you wonder if he lost a shirt before he died. Only two knew the answer, and one of us is dead. So anyone who seeks the truth can get it straight to the head. Then you and him can discuss what I did. Yeah, it was wrong, dog, but I slid. I'ma pay one day, just not right now. You hear my shit all in the street, I'm kinda hot right now. Come on. I don't give a fuck about y'all niggas, cause y'all ain't killing nothing. I don't give a fuck about y'all niggas, cause When I break bread with the cats that I starve with. When I hit the malls with the same dogs I rob with. When I be able to laugh with the niggas that I cried with. When it's over, be like, these are the niggas that I die with.
Were there other guys in the area that you saw doing it, like that came up before you, that you know you either idolized or you were like, oh, we could copy that from them, or we could do it like this?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, you had Justice Johnson's little brothers. You know, he had two brothers, as a matter of fact. You had Greg Johnson and Ahmad Johnson. And then there was one cat. There was one cat that stood out, and he had a style that, you know, like I said, he had a style that stood out, and his name was Amin. But he wasn't around very long, you know what I mean? So I didn't really get a chance to, like, soak up any of his game, you know. We pretty much did what we did because we were watching TV, you know what I mean? And then we developed what we wanted to promote. I mean, what we wanted to project through the platform that was given us, and that was basically, you know, this cat, Justice Johnson, saying, hey, you know what, I want to record y'all. Y'all are dope. Keep doing it. So, you know, add that to a desire to, you know, be rich and famous. You know what I mean? I think I might have been, 14 years old. So I'd always had a desire to, you know, be on stage and do all of those things. So, you know, when you got a cat that's older than you telling you, hey, you can make it, you're going to believe him, you know what I mean? So we believed him and we ran with it. And we made it our lives.
What song did you record at Justice Johnson's place?
Our first
specific song?
Yeah. I mean, we recorded several songs, and it's a shame that I never took a better catalog of my recordings, because a lot of people are mad at me about that. They're like, yo, remember this song, such and such, and I'm like, wow. It's almost like somebody else performed and wrote the song, because, yeah, I wrote the song, I performed it, but it's so far removed from me that I don't even remember it. And I'll have guys saying, man, remember when you did this song? And I'm like, dude, I don't even remember. And they'll get mad at me. So, I mean, but I do remember there was a song, our first song that, like, we were so proud of and that we were going to try to make a single was Wreck Enough Shop. It was called Wreck Enough Shop.
What was the hook?
Oh, buddy. We wrecked up shop. Yeah. Oh man, you're asking a lot of my memory right now, brother.
That's what
I can give you footnotes, man. I can't give you the index though. You know what I mean? I'll tell you who you can go to for some of those intimate details is TJ Fobbs. I would love to get some of those memories back, really, because like I said, when it comes to a lot of the music that we've made, and I'm talking about in general, like from those days on through say 2006. You know what I mean? That's when I let's just say from 91 to 2006, that's the catalog that I'm talking about. There's a lot of music in there that we've recorded that I don't necessarily remember all of. You know what I mean?
Well,
we made plenty of songs.
Your career, you know, like you can get a lot done in 15 years. Indeed. There were a lot of performances, a lot of shows, and, you know, a lot of memories created, and I just don't have, it's a shame that through all of that catalog, I don't have the audio proof, you know what I mean? Because I never made it a point to catalog all my music. See, the thing with that is, I do recall that, you know, back in the 90s, we were recording, this was before
this is before MP3s and all the digital shit. We were recording on ADAT. You remember ADAT recorders?
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, ADAT tapes. So if anything, he has them on some ADAT tapes. Now the issue would be what to play them back on. We had another two guys that really were a large part of that. I'm not sure if you're familiar. He's a little bit older than us. A guy named Evan Lampkin.
Nah, I don't remember him.
There's another guy named Evan Lampkin. He's from Queens, New York. He still lives here. You know, he had a couple of years on us. I'll be 41 next month. So he's got to be about, I want to say 43, 44. And then you got Albert Tumasini.
Lampkin. He's called Lampkin.
One more time. What'd you say, brother?
Sorry, I went and did a Flavor Flav. I said he's Lampkin. He's called Lampkin.
Yeah, no doubt. We used to tease him. But so.
What were these cats bringing to the table?
Man, they brought a lot of flavor to the table, man. They brought a lot of flavor to the table, man. A lot more mature subject matter than what me and TJ were dealing with personally at that time. They brought a lot of influence to us, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, we were young dynamos, and these cats were looking at us like, okay, well, if they amping like that, then I got to step my game up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you were kids. They can't be getting, out rapped in a cipher by you two.
Exactly. Well, that's how we actually met. You know what I mean? That's how me and Albert. That's how me and Albert met. You know, we affectionately called him Zoo Blacks. You know, my older cousin, the same one that introduced me to Justice, he used to amp me up like, yo, my little cousin, I bet you can't fuck with my little cousin. You know what I mean? And he would put me in the cipher against this guy, and he had to respect it because I was young and in charge. You know what I mean? So that's how me and Albert came to become allies. So once I introduced him, I was like, yeah, me and my man, we pretty much, we rap together. We got a group. He was like, yo, what's up? I want to be down. You know what I mean?
What were you guys going by at that time? Was it Universal Tactics at that point, or?
Let's see. At this point, we were Rough Enough Reality. We were Reality. Yeah, we were Reality. We started off Reality, and then Zoo added us. Zoo jumped in the fold, and we was Rough Enough. So we dropped the Reality, and then we were Rough Enough. And then as time went on, and a few groups got together and said, hey, let's just form a crew. You know what I mean? It was around 96 or 97 or so. You know what I mean? We had that whole Wu-Tang influence and everything that came with that. We were like, well, let's form a crew.
I remember seeing Reality perform at, School Talent Show, and I feel like I remember seeing you guys play Lake Fairfax.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like Derek Douglas was DJing for you at that point. DJ Douglas.
You're right.
And so that was my introduction to Reality.
Okay. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was a brief period, but yeah. Derek Douglas.
Him from
Derek
school?
Douglas. I'm sorry?
You just knew him from school or from...
Yeah, I knew Derek from school. We knew Derek through, from school. Yeah. We knew Derek from school. It was between him, in an African exchange student named Kumu. The guy, he came from I think he was African, but he came from Belgium.
I remember that dude.
You remember that guy? Okay.
Yeah.
So he was our first DJ. And then, you know, he didn't really pan out, you know what I mean? So then Derek jumped in there. And Derek knew what he was doing, you know what I mean? We just didn't have all of the we just didn't know exactly what we wanted to do with Derek. You see what I'm saying? So we didn't make the best use of the fact that we had a DJ at that time because you know, we were green.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. You know what I mean? We were green.
You should have been playing shows all over.
Yeah.
Not just, you know, not just fucking around at school talent shows and whatnot. You could have, you know, I mean, just for the curiosity of seeing you guys at like 13 years old or whatever, or 14 years old playing out somewhere.
Right.
I mean,
right.
People would have just shown up for that. Plus, you were good. I mean, it was good.
We were damn good. We were damn good. I'll attest to that. We were good. I mean, not just for our age, we were just good, you know. But like I said, we didn't have management, and we didn't have somebody, say, directing, you know, the vision as far as what we wanted to, as far as what we wanted to put out with the music. You see what I mean? We just pretty much were winging it. And so, with that being the case, you know what I mean? We had the resources, we just weren't putting them together right. You feel me? So we just pretty much stuck to just becoming the best rappers that we could be. You know what I mean? And doing the best show we could put on. And we did that well. And we continue to hone that. You know what I mean? We did that well.
So where was Rough Enough playing? And what were you guys doing?
I say we were doing shows at like schools. We would go to Bowie State, and there were local battles. There were local battles and all over the area. We were doing that pretty much. Like I said, we were just honing our skills. We were going to the DC nightclubs. You know what I mean? Whenever somebody would come into town and was performing, we would make sure we were in the area. We'd make sure we meet them. Or we'd run up on them. Yo, we want to battle. What's up? You know what I mean? Fugees come to town. What's up? We want to battle. You know what I mean? Cannabis, anybody come to town. What's up? What you got? We want to battle. That's kind of how we were making our name.
Ever battle any of them?
Yeah. Zoo battled Lauren Hill. I got a chance to battle the dude Pras. I battled a few dudes, man. I battled the dude from the Roots, Dice Raw. Shit, there was a lot going on, man. There was a lot going on.
How'd you do in those battles?
I did pretty well. I crushed Pras. No doubt. Everybody know that. I crushed Pras. Dice Raw, that one didn't go so well, man. I was a little shaky, you know what I mean? That dude is nice. And you know, he showed me why he was the youngest in charge of his crew, you dig? He's from the Roots crew. You know what I mean? He went on to make records with them. This is before they ever even recorded him, you dig?
Yeah, coming through the front, then coming through the rear, straight off the streets of Philly, just like Patty McBell, and I'm coming like a bat out of hell. I used to have nightmares, me and the devil would race. He was too competitive. every show when I was weight. I used sore losers like drugs, make no mistakes when you in my world. There ain't no escape. Wish that I could go back in the days and hand AKs out to the slaves and hand Uzis out to the braves. When your girl get in the jacuzzi, she don't know how to behave, but dice freestyle for days to flow. We stacked up in chunks, rappers wind up in the trunk with slump when I get bored. And when I rhyme, you only hear applause, you only hear to get floored. And dice rolls here to get bored, but nah, my man Black Thought next on the mic, and we gon' do the thing all day and night. And yo, you know what I'm saying, rock with my man.
With the dude Pras, I'm Byron Stafford. That was nice.
There were some other nice MCs in Reston during this time. I mean, I interviewed Kamani, who went by K9. I don't know if you remember him, Kamani Baldwin, but he was.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him. I just never knew he was recording or doing any of that. Like we knew each other from the streets. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
We knew each other on a different level.
Nice. He's real nice, and some of his recordings are real good. And you remember John Baptiste?
Yeah. That's my man. Yeah. So you got Sean. Yeah, you had John Baptiste.
He went on to be infectious organism.
Yeah. Definitely.
And so
definitely.
I wondered if you ever rapped with him or battled John or any of these other wrestlers.
My man Oliken would actually battle him. We're going to battle him, and they did their thing against each other, whatever. And that's how we grew to respect each other in our crews or whatever. And then you had Michael OGK. And, that's how Universal Tactics kind of came together. It was like, okay, well, all of us do our thing. Let's do our thing together. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring what we're doing around here to light. Make everybody know what we're doing.
Them take a deli toast of it, freak your mind, take you on a rhyme, roller coaster, kid, never slouch, turn it out without a fraction doubtful. My UT Shaman know what time it is, you catch a mouthful, a powerful poet licks, that substitute your fix, a mixed up, tricked up, rap acts with antics, I rhyme frantic, caress the microphone romantically, eat him, I play the ecstasy, induce a hip-hop fantasy, can that be? What you been missing is weed, to unlock the stranglehold on hip-hop and set her free, so gently. So violently, we plummet toward the next century. Wondering if what's left of our art gon' be your memory. If we continue to hesitate to set it straight, I'll be the first nigga to step up to the plate, knock a head off, hit the feds off before they strike in the night. I bring the truth to light, and I'ma keep it moving, alright? So when you look here, you see clear, colorful pictures of this ill tribe written about in future scriptures. Shamanic victims, caress the microphone romantically. Eat 'em, I play the ecstasy, induce a hip-hop fantasy. Can that be? What you been missing is weed. Unlock the stranglehold on hip-hop. What I say, them shamanic victims caress the microphone romantically. Eat 'em, play the ecstasy, induce a hip-hop fantasy. Can that be? What you been missing is weed. To unlock the stranglehold on hip-hop.
I mean, I'll say like this. Michael DK was the nicest because, he could make the beats, freestyle everything, and then put on a show with everything he would do right then and there on the spot. Bing, bang, boom. So we gave him,
what was his rap name?
OGK. He just took his last name and ran with it.
And just for the listeners out there, what were you going by and what was TJ going by?
Let me see. I went from I think at that time I was Illy the Kid. Yeah, I went by Illy the Kid, man. Not Billy, but Illy. Dropped the B.
I remember we were recording together, you were just going by Ill Kid.
Yeah. And then, of course, it became Ill Kid for short. But if you put it on paper, it was Illy the Kid. That's how that came to be.
and TJ was going by Cochise.
And he still go by Cochise. I gave him that name, as a matter of fact. Because we was watching Cooley High, and I was like, you know what? Out of us, you the Cochise. You know what I'm saying? You remind me of that dude Cochise. And so, and the fact that, you know, and the fact that he was doing things in the streets that had us laughing, but had other folks looking at it crazy.
Hi, my name is Richard Morris. I came to talk to you. By the time I get up, I want to know your name, your address, and your telephone number. Name.
Loretta Brown.
Address.
Why did you call me Friday? I watched you play all last season, and I'm probably your biggest fan.
Well, he was wild.
Yeah, he was a wild boy. We were all wild. He was just the one that people put his on Broadway.
We kind of linked up to record a little bit back in those days through Tepper Gill.
Mhm.
Now, I got the feeling that Tepper was like part of Universal Tactics, but I don't know. He was looked at differently in the crew.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tepper. You know, you gotta love Tepper, but Tepper was trying really hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, Tepper was definitely accepted. You know what I mean? He was definitely accepted.
How did he start rapping with you?
Exactly how that came to be, I don't really remember how exactly that came to be. I just remember that, you know, we was doing our thing, and then one day Pepper was like, he was adding on, and then he was giving us song concepts, so we were running with him. You know what I mean? You know, Tepper was an interesting cat, and he always had a lot of ideas. You know what I mean? You know, and he didn't care if they was whack or not. You know what I'm saying? He would at least extrapolate them on out, and then, you know, bounce them off of us and see what it, you know what I mean, and see what it did. Now, you know, truth be told, a lot of ideas got shot down, but a lot of them got ran with too. So.
Yeah, I got the feeling like Tepper was almost like the hyperactive little brother.
Oh,
like
definitely.
That's how he got treated. But you know, sometimes a hyperactive brother comes up with some good shit.
Well, right. I mean, because you know you gotta think. Even though we were you know growing up in Reston and living in Reston and you know. That was our base. I mean, we were street cats, whereas Tepper was not. You know what I mean? We were actually, and see, that, to be truth be told, that's what kind of hindered our progress as far as developing musically. You know what I mean? Developing professionally with the music. Because we had one foot in the streets, one foot in the studio. You know? So, while there were a lot of guys out there, they were rapping about being in the streets, you know what I mean? My philosophy regarding that was, shit, I'm not about to be rapping about being in the streets because I'm actually in the streets. And so, you know, that side of my life and that side of TJ's life, you know what I mean? Not so much for him, but for me mostly, it was taken away from my drive to make music, you know what I mean? But then Tepper kind of balanced us out, you feel me? Because Tepper had such an enthusiasm for everything to do with making a record, everything to do with trying to get on and be in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? Tepper wanted to fuck foreign chicks from goddamn Abu Dhabi and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And talk about how, you know what I mean, how dope it was to be a rapper and shit like that. So. You know, that was his motivation. We all had different motivations, but Tepper was kind of like a balancer. You know what I mean?
Live on this record.
Yo, this is business. B.I. Fuck the BS. Luxury, yes. I need a GS. And the girl with the big breast. Big dash in the flesh. Hey, yo, check this. Hey, yo, Virginia mad reckless. Niggas, they left restless. Observers on the side couldn't see us. I preserved the hype for the night. Yeah, niggas check the ill shit is tight. In limelight, design tight. I rhyme right. I keep it right. Record ill, niggas check. The motherfucking style represent. Be the shit, nigga. Y'all niggas don't even know about the shit, nigga. Virginia about to rip it all down. And niggas know you're about to fall down. Fall off, get called off. All y'all motherfucking alarms. The ball that we drop. That niggas not gonna rock, not gonna stop. I keep the hip hop in place. That niggas can't check the ill shit. I bring disgrace to your fucking state. You're not tight as us. We stay up in the night. I fucking take your life force. And niggas get put on the fucking night horse. Send straight to limbo like a fucking bimbo. Yeah, niggas can't sense no. Now I keep it real and mad sensual. My sentences be dropping with the matter factual, the tactical. That ill shit y'all niggas don't know. Next up is my man Illy Momo. It's just business. We never know forgiveness. The fucking misfit. Y'all niggas don't know what is this. Yo, cause this is business. B.I. Fuck the BS. Luxury, yes. I need a GS. And a girl with the big breast. Big gas in the flesh.
Come alive on this record. Come alive on this record.
Who wants to rap? The UTC click, conquering up respect. Taking and taking it. Y'all motherfuckers keep faking it. So now we making it. Out the door with the motherfucking truths to raw. Anything you came for. The motherfucking UTC. Represent the shamanic ecstasy. Always and every day. Forever it pays to rock a motherfucking mic on the MIC and get sways. And lead the party people days. Set off the stage in a motherfucking rage. But I just hit you, invite you, slice you with motherfucking rhyme. Get sued like Metal Gear Solid. Y'all motherfuckers can't get with this, you get rotted. Quick, fast off the Dio.
Come alive on this record.
You know, you had myself, you had Cochise, and then you had Zoo. You know what I'm saying? Zoo was a wild boy himself. You know what I mean? You know, him being that wild African cowboy that kind of like brought a different spice to our crew. You know what I'm saying? We were giving you all these different flavors, and then so Tepper was trying to find his niche. You know what I mean? He was trying to find, okay, well, what can I give you? These guys ain't giving you, but will fit in and complement him in the right way. You know?
Well, what do you think it would have taken for you guys to be able to take it to the next level? And, you know, what happened that you didn't sort of take Universal Tactics to the next level? Because you had the talent, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as far as like Universal Tactics is concerned, we just needed more organization. You know what I mean? Like the whole crew concept, it was just too many egos. You know what I mean? Because you didn't have just us four. You had like us four plus, you know, you had like 8 other guys. You know what I mean? There were different groups that were coming together. Like I said, different groups that were coming together to form Universal Tactics, and that was the crew that we took pride in, and we, you know, we screaming it out. But we didn't really have any organization as a crew. You know what I mean? We kind of just did things autonomous. You know what I mean? We kind of just did things in a haphazard way, like, yo, whatever the feeling, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this, or we're gonna do this. You know what I mean?
So,
that's how that kind of.
So why at that point didn't you find a manager? Why didn't you find somebody that had some experience, you know, guiding a hip hop group along in DC, and, you know, learn from that?
I think what it was is we didn't really trust anybody. You know what I mean? we didn't trust anybody to have our best interests at heart. So, I mean, a few things transpired that got us actually closer to getting not just a record deal, but a label deal. You know what I mean? And so you basically asked me, well, you know, why didn't you guys, what kept you from, you know, jumping to that next level? So like I previously stated, we had one foot in the studio and 1 foot in the street. You know what I mean? And at a large part of the time, you know, I had 2 feet in the streets and no feet in the studio. You know what I mean? And there was just like I said, there were just times where we couldn't see eye to eye as far as developing new music goes. You know what I mean? And so then there came a time where, okay, we met these guys. We met a group of guys, and they were Wet Money Records. Wet Money Records. They were out of Maryland, and so we had made a mixtape. They heard it. They loved it. They wanted to work with us, so we made a mixtape and they put it out, and it was dope. I'm sure you can still find it out there somewhere. So from that, there was an introduction made to a former offensive lineman from Washington Redskins, Chris Samuels. So TJ met him first, and they hit it off. And you know, he took such a liking to TJ that, you know, he said, "Well, shit, man, you know, I want you to write some raps for me, man. I want to rap too." You know what I mean? But in the meantime, between time, I think you're so dope, you know, I'm willing to pay for you and your crew studio time. And this was after the Universal Tactics thing kind of broke down. You know what I mean? This is at the point where we're back to basics. It's me, it's TJ, and it's Zoo, and you know, Pepper. I don't really know where Tepper was at this point. You know what I mean? But I know that you know, myself and a few of the guys from Universal Tactics, like, we still kept in touch. You know what I mean? And we still bounced music concepts off of each other. But there wasn't a lot going on as far as recording actually at that time with other people. So we were recording amongst each other. And this was about 2003. So this was about 2003 when the introductions were made, and we made the mixtape for Wet Money. We had a lot of dope material that we put out over other people's beats for that mixtape, and it got us noticed. So on the strength of that, the guy Chris Samuels says, "Okay, well, I believe in you guys. I know you don't want a record deal, you know. Let's take it a step further. If you got more guys," and the whole time we're telling them, "Yeah, we got more guys we want to put on. We got a whole lot of flavor, whole lot of albums worth of material in the cut. Well, you know what I'm saying, that's worthy of being put out." You know what I mean? So at that point, like I said, he's paying for our studio time. He says, "Okay, well, I know some people as well." So we were introduced to Wendy Day, which is, if you know, to your listeners, anybody that's familiar in the industry, she's one of the major deal brokers in the industry. She's the lady that got, say, Baby, Cash Money, their deal with Universal. Not sure if you remember Little Flip from Texas.
Yeah.
She got them their deal. So at this point, you know, we're high on ourselves. We're like, well, shit, we can do this. You know what I mean? So we're starting to think bigger, you know, and so then there was a drive to be in the studio more. So, you know, kind of took 1 foot out of the streets. And put it back in the studio. So we're making records, we're doing things, and then I can't really tell the rest of that story without telling my man business. You know what I'm saying? But there was an incident that transpired that kind of made Chris Samuels pull out of the deal. You know, he didn't kind of pull out of the deal. He pulled out of the deal immediately. You know what I mean? Because of his public image. Remember, he was, when he was playing for the Redskins, you know what I mean? He was very much in the limelight. He was on their little weekly talk shows or whatever. You know what I mean? So I guess he didn't want his name associated with anything negative that might be happening in the streets. That's as plain as I could put it without, you know what I mean, without giving up too much detail. And it all came crashing down. So, and there was a lot of money involved, and there would have been a lot of money that would have been involved with that deal. And so, when that broke down, I'll admit that kind of just that kind of took the wind out of my sails. And I kind of just said, "Fuck it, man. I'm doing this street thing better anyway." And so that's that's what I continue to do.
Damn. Did that sour things between you and the rest of the guys in the group? No. It definitely put us through some changes, but the relationship didn't deteriorate any. You know what I mean? We all kind of just fell back on our street shit, and we just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Then it was just like 2 feet in the streets, you know what I'm saying? We make records every now and then, you know what I mean? Jump on a beat here and there, but I know for me, that's what it was. TJ stayed a little closer to the music, you know what I mean? As evidenced by the fact that he's still making music, you know what I mean? Whereas I jumped into the streets with 2 feet full time. I kind of was like, fuck rap, you know what I mean? That was my attitude at that point, you know what I mean? I'm already making money, you know what I mean? I'm making money, which was the end goal, you know? And this was 03, 04, this was around the time where you're starting to see the price of fame, you know what I mean? Whereas, people are getting exposed and things are happening and all of that good stuff. A lot of hip hop blogs are popping up, blase, and as I'm bearing witness to that, I'm like, man, I don't even want to be famous no more, you know what I mean? And so I kind of left the rap alone around 06, 07. You ever miss it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
do you miss being creative? Do you miss writing? Like how do you essentially get that?
I miss performing. I miss performing most of all.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I mean, the creative process, that was always second nature to me. You know what I mean? The creativity part, that's part of who I am. You know what I mean? I feel like I can always still do that, to be quite honest with you.
But I mean, do you? I mean, do you write in like a journal or anything, or like? No,
nothing.
Do you write?
Funny.
I'm saying if you're not writing like stuff. And I know you like shoes, but I don't know if you ever try your hand at like designing them or anything like that.
No, nothing
or,
like that.
You do.
No,
so,
I to be honest, I mean, I don't really have an outlet for my creativity these days. My creativity kind of manifests itself at random points. You know what I mean? Definitely not through music like it used to be. It's just one of those things that I've grown to accept. Every now and then I'll hear a track or whatever, or I'll hear somebody spitting on a track, and I'm like, damn, yo, that shit make me want to go write something. You know what I mean? But that's as far as it goes these days. I don't really have a desire to like really make records. I've had several attempts made. Yo, come to the studio, blah blah blah, and I'm like, what am I gonna rap about? You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna rap about right now? Like, yo, my reality is not rap worthy right now. You know, so
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like anybody's reality can be rap worthy. Rap
definitely.
You know, rap doesn't just have to be about what's going on in the street.
Right, definitely. And I respect that perspective. Like, you know, that it may be a bit short sighted of me to just say, well, my life is not rap worthy these days. It's
a human experience, you know. Like that's all. Rap should encapsulate everything. Everything right. that people are experiencing, and if people can relate to you, if you can express like an emotion in a way people can relate to, and put it down in a way that connects with people, that's all it takes.
Right. Definitely.
I mean, you always did that.
Yeah. And I feel like I can always do it if I need to, but I just haven't felt a desire or need to, you know what I mean, express myself in that way. You know what I mean? I'm more goal oriented in that respect. Like if I'm gonna do that, it's gonna be a means to some end. You know what I mean? And I guess in that respect, I'm a bit selfish with my gift, you know. I said I've had several people over the past few years be like, "Yo, what's up, man? Let's do something." You know what I mean? And you know, when I answer them, I may say yes, but it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So I try not to say yes. I'll just be like, "Look, man, thanks for no thanks." You know what I'm saying? But I'll definitely come. You know, I'll definitely come in the studio and consult or whatever. But my desire to make music.
Studio,
you know what I mean?
Studio consultant. You should have that put up on like cards and shit.
Definitely. If anything, if anything I do with music, I mean, I could definitely go in the studio and be a consultant. You know what I mean? Most definitely do that. But you know, past that,
I love it. Well, it seems like, you know, even going back to Baby B, like it seems like that's what it was for the most part. It was a desire to perform for people and to get something whatever you got from the performance aspect of it. That's what, you know, that's what your psyche was craving. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And so if that's not there, it seems like what's the point? But as a means to an end, maybe if somebody was saying like, oh, we lay this down and I've got these 3 shows booked and here's what you're going to make for
Yeah, you know what? That might pique my interest. I'm not going to lie, you know what I mean? And as I've gotten older, you know what I mean? I'll admit, like, there's a certain part of me that enjoys teaching. You know what I mean? Not in the general sense to say, just people. I enjoy giving people what I got. You know what I mean? If you come to me in that manner, like, yo, B, you know what I mean? Blah, you know what I mean? You got a better chance of getting it out of me.
Well, like you said,
say, hey,
you got it. I said, like you said, you had a gift.
Yeah,
you have a gift. Yeah. I mean, it's plain as day. Anybody that's heard you on the mic, you know that it's just a natural thing that you've got. There are people that, they have a certain like written talent, a way with words or whatever. You had like the whole package of being able to do the concept, the voice, and lay it down. And
Right.
it, you know, and it wasn't like you needed a lot of takes to get something down either. You put the mic in front of you, and it was like one take, and you were done.
Yeah,
I remember.
That was one of my things, man. Like, I love doing that. Like, yo, I go in the booth, crush it, and let you catch up. You know what I mean? That was one of my things I love. You know what I mean? That was one of the things I love to do, and I became known for, you know? It was like, hold on, this dude didn't even go in there with no paper. No, he didn't go in there with no paper. You know what I mean? Because he didn't write it down. You know?
No, I know. People be like, hold on. Let me finish this up. Let me get this down. Hold on. Let me hear it again. Play it back. And then they go in they go in the booth, and it's like they get a few words out. It's like, wait, we'll run that back. Let me get this up in the and it's, you know, 3 hours later, you still don't have to take. Let me go outside and smoke another blunt. Hold on.
Right.
and you
takes you back to Justice Johnson. I mean, he turned us into some young studio professionals. You know what I mean? Like, he taught us a lot about, you know, the process and how to do it right, and, you know what I mean, not to waste his damn time. Because he was, you know, he was real aggy. You know what I mean? He was real ornery. Yeah, he wouldn't let you waste his time. He'll kick you out if you wasting his time. So, you know, we learn fast from him.
But like I said, you had a gift for it too. If there's any way to like pass that on, I don't know, to the kids or whatever, you know.
I don't have any kids, but you know, any youngins that I come across that, you know, that I can, you know, drop jewels on, I definitely do that, you know. Without question.
These days, is there anything that you do listen to where you're impressed by any MCs that you hear out there, or, you know,
Occasionally. I'm real hard on these clowns these days, man. There's a lot of buffoonery on the mic. You know what I mean?
I do. I find it real hard to connect with a lot of hip hop these days.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of dope music out there. You know what I mean? It's not all necessarily something that I would have say co-signed to begin with, but, you know, I've been pleasantly surprised by a lot of music. So, you know.
Well, what you listening to?
What am I listening to?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot of. Let's see. You know, I listen to a lot of Anderson .Paak, man. I listen to a lot of hybrid funk. You dig?
Okay, you got it. Look. Down. Look at you down. Okay, you bubbling. Look. Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, little nigga bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even pass me that, I don't want none of it. These niggas mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got me hot as a laser, my posse deep and irate, and we act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, bitch. Bitch, you bet on my bacon. Big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas. Head back to my old ways. Cop a roof full of Asian hoes and you blow all day. Look at me, baby.
Like, I'm not sure if you hit who Anderson .Paak is.
Yeah, I'm here in Los Angeles.
Right. So you know who Anderson .Paak is. I listen to a lot of Six Flag. Let's see the other kid's name. And there's so many guys that I listen to. You know what I mean? I never necessarily bought an album, but then at the same time buying albums It's not a literal term anymore. You just download everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everything is just so much different now. You know.
I make playlists. That's what I do these days. I don't even because you get an album and there's only like one good song on it anyway, or two good songs maybe for most groups. Anything that I'm feeling. So I like to put together playlists.
Yeah, I mostly listen to dudes I can really relate to, man. Like I listen to a lot of Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah. I love that Cocaine Pinata album.
That whole thing.
That whole thing. That's one of the last hip hop albums where it was like the whole thing. I can listen to the whole thing straight through and just like vibe off the whole thing.
Earlier today, matter of fact. Didn't even realize it.
That's a good one.
4 or 5 songs popped up on my little playlist. Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah. So niggas be like, yo, Fred, man, you a real nigga, dog. Real nigga. I be like, shit, front to the back. Respect, man. Respect. These fake niggas and lower the bar, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, Fred, you ain't never lied. Fuck the rap shit, my gangster been solidified. Still do my business on the side. Bitch, if you police then pay me, no, never mind. I was thug. Black and red laces in my number 3s. Take a pull up off the wood and let that motherfucker breathe. Sit outside of bust the crib and let that motherfucker leave. Walk his ass back in and put him on his motherfucking knees. Thug. Never taking no for an answer. Might just take a loss, but bitch, I'd rather take my chances. Liquor got me lurking where you live at in the nighttime. 5950 to the left, but I'm in my right mind. Thug. Pants gonna be sagging till I'm 40. Still lyrically sharper than these show bus shows. These phonies ain't gon' throw me in this minstrel show. These labels see how far up in their mouth my dick could go. So go on it, choke on this meat, throw my song on repeat. Might move away one day, but I'm always gon' belong to the streets. I'm straight thug. And it feels so good. And it feels so right. Yeah, and it feels so good. And it feels so right, cause motherfucker, I'm thug. Telling you the science of the street rap. Every motherfucking show I do is off the meat rap. I done been in jail and did my best not to repeat that. I'm trying to feed my family, give a fuck about your feedback.
You got those playlists going too.
Yeah.
So I always ask people from the area, you know, cause that's what the show is about. It's about, you know, sort of growing up in the DC suburbs and what that's like musically. So how do you think, you know, moving to Reston, like how do you think that shaped you as an artist?
I think it helped develop me because, like I said, you know, I wouldn't have made the connections that I made as far as like, you know, studio or what have you. I don't think I would have did that in Boston the same way. But at the same time, I feel like it also hindered me because my world was small. You know what I'm saying? Because Reston is such a great place to grow up that you don't really want to go. You don't really want to venture out too tough. Can you dig it?
Yeah, but I wanted to go into the city to see shows. I wanted to go into the city to hit clubs.
And I did all of that. I did all that.
That's where the music was happening. Like I knew a lot of great musicians in Reston, and played with a lot of great musicians in Reston. But in terms of performance, there weren't a lot of opportunities for performance in Reston at all.
Yeah, definitely had to go to the city and the outskirts to make that part of it happen. You know, and I did that. You know, we performed in a lot of places. Shit, I performed in Belgium. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But through it all, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was my own worst enemy because, you know, I kind of let my personal shit get in the way of my professional career as far as music goes. And that's on me.
Do you think growing up in Reston like made you that way, or you think that was just you?
Nah, it's just me.
That would have been you. That would have been you wherever.
Reston kept me alive this long. Can you dig it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Growing up in Reston, getting that Fairfax County education kept me alive this long. You know what I mean? Because I had the advantage of learning from a lot of people's mistakes that I otherwise wouldn't have. I would have probably been the mistake maker. You know what I mean? The guy you read about, and that'd have been that. So, you know, if I'm being honest, Reston saved my life. You know what I mean? Moving to Reston saved my life.
Yeah, we getting on some new shit. You know what I'm saying?
New shit.
New styles for 98. Small brand off shit. You know what I'm saying? Coming from my man, courtesy of my man.
Courtesy of my man.
You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Yo, we come down like this. Yo, here we go. Yo, I rock from high to low. As if you didn't know, if I wanted to, I'll show you just how the ill kid blow. Yo, I get erratic, call static, mad dramatic. Bluffing on the ball court, making niggas panic. Cause I know a crew call that ooh, I click and don't sleep. Just in case the niggas frontin' on some bullshit. But first I ease back, playing my attack. Never come a whack, I make a funky ass nigga jaw slack. For real, y'all know the Willie Bobo on the rough enough kids to be like waxing all them slow pokes. And that be no joke, word to Bob Hope, I'm dope. Lasting and asses, my mic calls my rope, so think about it. Because of that, so get done. Remember me, the ill kids, so chill while I take a shotgun. Chill, let me demonstrate how my verbal generates the earth shakes. Will it be syllable my lips make? Yo, and I've been on the lead, holes in the ground by stomping any whack and see that's around that. Word to my booby and my newborn cuz. I rock the mic, how you like his ill kid never was. But now, let me get up on a new path, it's like the R's. Y'all niggas catch the oohs and the R's and the pause. Up in your stance as I hit that make y'all niggas up in the trance like a deer trapped in the road in the lights. Y'all niggas can't get with this, cause I set sprites in your headlights and all your sights. Yo, hey yo, my niggas coming the mics like that, yo.
Yeah, MC number 2. I'm about to get on this thing. The name's Cochise. In case you don't know, about to get on some shit like this. Yo.